Shout out to Mark Smith for the heads up on this, because I believe that's where I first heard about this. Pirate Nation says the JoyCon 2 still hasn't had a stick drift fix, cutting costs to make the consumers keep buying controllers. So this is a report from a video coming originally from iFixit. And they said, Nintendo Switch 2, new Joy-Cons, same problem. So let's see what they have to say here.
Now, these things are fussy. Nintendo says the new Switch 2 Joy-Cons are better, but did they fix drift? To find out, I'm tearing them down. These things are fussy to take apart. To start with, you need a special driver for Nintendo's signature tri-point screws. Then dig under the adhesive secured panels for more screws. Disconnecting the battery was easy enough, but to pry it out I needed a pick and some isopropyl alcohol. I had to call in the cavalry to figure out how to pry off the shoulder trigger, but then how to get to the joystick. There's a trick. Twist the thumb grip, pop a couple of clips on the stick housing, and hey presto, the stick is out. Finally.
This is, by the way, like a technical marvel of design to just close it together. It's like cracking a safe just to open it up. Holy crap.
As I open the joystick housing, I'm starting to lose hope. To fix the drift problem, Nintendo would need to use a different kind of sensor than in the original Switch. Potentiometers just won't do. Most modern joysticks use a potentiometer to read the voltage as a wiper that slides across a strip of resistive material. That material wears down over time, or plastic and dust can dirty the sensors. It is possible to make better joysticks. Hall effect and TMR sticks are both drift resistant.
So Nintendo knowingly made a decision to choose cheaper materials, not to update the design of the controller, and expect there to be drift issues, and probably had a, I wouldn't be surprised if there was a closed door board of directors meeting about the situation on options of what they should do. And be like, all right, here's the options. We can go with these more materials, higher price stuff. We can get this done. And instead of costing $90, it's going to cost $100 for the Joy-Cons for us to get the same kickbacks on every sale. But that will prevent them from drifting for a very, very long time. And most of the time, they will never, ever drift with these new materials. Or we can just go with what we were doing on the original Switch and try to make them a little bit better so it doesn't start drifting immediately. But the same problem is going to happen. And eventually, with enough wear and tear or dust getting into the wrong spot, they will begin to drift and they will need to be replaced. And then the customers are going to need to buy them all over again. And the executives and the board of directors at Nintendo were probably like, wait, so we can build in a late break that these will be out of the warranty and they'll need to buy a new one and those will be useless? That's genius. Why the hell would we make it better? We'll just make it so it lasts past the warranty, and then they'll have to buy another one, and we can just basically print money with more Joy-Cons. Think about that for a second. How evil of a company you'd need to be to move forward with that decision. And honestly, I'm not that surprised. I'm not surprised at all, because this is one of those that I would argue Doug Bowser probably was in on those meetings. And Doug Bowser, being a former EA executive, was probably the one saying, why the hell would we improve it, guys? This is a revenue stream for us. When they start to drift, people will buy them again. It's free money. Dekulita says, Nintendo became just like Sony and EA. True North says, don't forget your other chat, Smash. Oh, am I? I'm reading both of them, aren't I? See, I see you guys. I see you. Jeffrey Rucker says, just like Logitech and so many others. Yep. Volkdude says, Smash, they do the same in every home appliance. I almost feel like there needs to be like consumer protection laws against that kind of stuff. But at the same time, this is one of those situations where the market will naturally just find out, and word of mouth will get out there, and you will be known as that guy. Like, you don't want to be that guy in the industry where people are just like, oh no, that's cheap products, crap that falls apart after a while. I don't want to be that guy. Nintendo, for the longest time, was known for quality. I mean, the original Nintendo was a shit show. The original Game Boy was a shit show. But pretty much the Virtual Boy was kind of a shit show with the glue coming undone after a while. But pretty much every console that Nintendo has made has been very high quality. Super Nintendo, amazing quality. N64, amazing quality. GameCube, amazing quality. No issues at all with any of those. Wii, amazing quality. Wii U, amazing quality. Like everything, amazing. No problems at all. But then for some reason, the Switch with the drift. The Wii U never had a drift, and that had an analog stick on it. What's the difference? I wonder. But anyways.
But oh, that's right, Joy-Cons attach with magnets. That'll interfere with the Hall effect sensor. TMR is far more resistant to magnetic interference, so maybe? Nope, these joysticks look almost exactly like the old sticks. Same drifty sensors, just a slightly different form factor.
Well, it looks like a thicker black square around a black angle around it. Like, again, almost like Nintendo improved it just enough to last longer.
Lame. For now, maybe just drive a little gently and stay tuned. Full teardown coming soon.
But that is curious.
Nintendo says
it is concerning. I mean, I got it right in front of me right now. What the heck? What the heck? Why did my computer just started playing audio? Why did it just start playing that? That was weird. But I have it right here. And it honestly, it feels very similar. I think the padding on the top, the rubber on the top is just a little bit thicker, but the strength between it feels exactly the same. So I do have some serious concerns about this becoming a problem for the Switch 2. On top of the point that the Switch 2 already costs around, after tax, with Mario Kart, you're talking almost $600. You're approaching $600. And that just comes with one set of Joy-Cons. And if you want another set of Joy-Cons, that's $90 plus tax. That's $100 for another set of Joy-Cons. So for two sets of Joy-Cons, a Mario Kart game, and the Switch 2, that's around $700 for one game for two people to play it. Oh, and the Joy-Cons don't come with the control stick. You have to buy the control stick separately to put these into it. So that's another thing you got to buy. So it's my biggest frustration when it comes to the Switch 2 is not the games or the quality or the other stuff that goes along with it. It really does just come down to the price. Everything is too expensive with the Switch 2 to make it something I could recommend to people. Exactly, True North. It's the same console with an upgrade. Oh, someone donated $5 on Kick. I'll check that in just a second. Thank you, True North. But yeah, they nickel and dime everything. And I wonder about the future of Nintendo. And I keep going back to, I feel like Doug Bowser is sacrificing the future of the company for short-term gains to make himself look like a king, to be like, look at how much money Nintendo of America just brought in with the Switch 2 launch. What a successful launch it was. Never mind the fact that he just completely destroyed generations of gamers, because now kids everywhere are not going to experience Nintendo games ever moving forward, because so many parents out there will not be buying a Switch 2. So many parents are just like, you know what, screw it. We'll just have a PlayStation 4, or we'll stick with the original Switch, or we'll go with just PC gaming, and we'll get like a, I don't know, a DS or something, or 2DS for my kid. Like most parents don't care too much about like getting games for their kids these days. At least the parents that I hang around. And the games that they play, mostly they're just on iPad. And the kids don't care about this stuff. And Nintendo is making it price prohibitive for kids to even care, so that it's turning more and more expensive, getting more and more niche, and ultimately is going to end up in the long run destroying the company. I truly feel that way, unless they go back to the way they were, which that doesn't happen overnight either. But Serpentine Deity says, you're in a legit stream when a person is outraged at the sloppy wire job on a YouTube video. iPad, shitty microtransaction crap. Yeah, but it's what my kids play iPad all day. They're on basically Roblox or YouTube Kids. That's all they use it for. So that's the future, I guess. That's the future.